Economic Ninja. Today, we are going to be talking about taxes, everyone's favorite subject, because Americans are getting concerned about these new tax bracket changes in 2026. I want to go over that because some people are going to save money, but most people are actually going to lose money. And in a world where inflation is crushing us, and the consumer is not showing up for many businesses anymore, we're going into that cycle, that downturn cycle that we've been in actually for quite some time, but it's going to start accelerating. And I want to give you some ideas of how to save some money right now if you are an entrepreneur. If you are, I'm very curious. Let me know down below what type of business you're in. I'm very curious because yesterday I had the craziest webinar. We had so many technical glitches. If you want to see it and see how the ninja deals with technical glitches, not very well. The link's down below. And then I'm also going to let you guys know about the offer I'm doing. It's a one-day sale for a business tax accelerator program. That link's down below as well. All right, this first story is out of the Yahoo Finance. And hey, I can't stand paying taxes, but I'll tell you what I do like paying. Less taxes, the right way. Let's go through this. The IRS released new tax brackets for 2026. Some Americans are going to save, but thousands, while others won't be so lucky. It says here, amid the headlines about the government shutdown in the past, the IRS made significant announcements without much fanfare. That was the new tax brackets that will impact every taxpayer in the country in 2 days. But you can actually still do some things this year. I'm going to go through that in this video as a business owner, as an entrepreneur that can save you money right now. So the changes to the brackets aren't new. They've adjusted upwards every year to account for inflation. Isn't that sweet? So while the government creates inflation, think about this, by printing excessive money, dropping interest rates to nothing, giving people that shouldn't have free money, that's what causes inflation. When you have an excess of currency inside of a population that needs to go somewhere, currency will always find a place to flow. And it usually flows through the dumbest. That is the truth. The reason why is because the dumbest section of the population doesn't understand, because they don't care to. Not because they don't want to, it's because they don't care to learn about saving and investing money. They go, and as soon as it gets into their hands, they spend it. Well, what that does is it causes prices to rise. We saw this with equities, with crypto, with lumber, with all kinds of things during the COVID issue because there was tons of money pushed in, right? Okay. So every year they're saying, well, we got to raise your taxes because inflation's going up. The government needs to pay its bills too. It's absolutely disgusting. So it says, they talk about the brackets and how certain ones are going to save people thousands. Well, those are the lowest brackets because that comprise the most amount of Americans. All right. So let me go to my text and I'm going to read these tax bracket changes to you. Let's see here. Boom, boom. Here we go. We're almost there. There we go. Okay. So this is where we're at right now. The 10% federal tax bracket is between 0 and 12,400, right? You got the 12 and the 22. Those ones, the 10 and 12, dipped a little bit. When you go into these higher brackets, they're increasing in numbers. And what's really scary is there are a lot of entrepreneurs that make $40,000 and up in their side hustle. And what they're doing is they're not taking full advantage of the tax code. Maybe, I'll give you an example. Let me read this. I'm going to give you a list right now. Okay. Do me a favor. Type yes or no if you've heard this term, an accountable plan. If you're a business owner, have you ever heard of an accountable plan? Now, if there's probably a bunch of CPAs watching because recently a bunch of CPAs bought our courses, which I'm so grateful for because we've been getting amazing feedback. I begged my tax planner to build this course for 2 years, but he can't take any new clients. And so he puts this thing out. He charges $10,000 for a tax plan. And so we put this into a course. And so accountable plan, right? People haven't heard about it. An accountable plan is when if you don't have this set up inside of your business entity, and you obviously sometimes you buy things that are tax write-offs, and what you do is a reimbursement throughout the year. You could do reimbursements regularly, or you could do it one time at the end of the year. If the IRS notices that you don't have an accountable plan, what they do is they now take anything that was deemed a refundable, cost that you paid for out of your own pocket, but hey, it was a legit write-off, and they immediately charge you tax on it. That's an insane thing. But most CPAs don't tell their clients this. Why? Because they'd have to actually walk them through it and pretty much do it for them. They don't get paid a whole lot extra to do that kind of stuff. They want to wham, bam, thank you, man, just recycle, get as many clients in and out the door with their, doing business ads or DBA or their LLC, right? A lot of CPAs don't even really encourage, and my CPA was one of them. When he was just starting out, he wanted to go from an LLC to an S Corp because he wanted to start paying himself wages to be able to pay less tax legally, right? And his CPA discouraged him from doing that. Later on, he became a CPA and a tax planner and only, does taxes for uber wealthy people, and he charges like 6 figures. My point being is that learning from this story and an accountability plan is a big deal, right? Check this out. How many people, type yes or no, have heard of a 401k plan, right? But pretty much everyone's going to say yes. But let me ask you this. How many of you have heard of a solo 401k? And could you actually tell me the difference between the two? The truth is, most people wouldn't be able to tell me this. And it has massive, massive benefits. Another thing is, obviously, oh, here you go. This is a good one. The Augusta rule. Many people have heard of the Augusta rule. And when you own a business, there is a way that you can legally have your business rent your home legally. And there's some steps that need to be taken in documentation, so it's all legal. But you could rent your home to your business for a certain period of time to be able to. Now, first off, don't take any of this as tax advice. I'm not a tax professional. I'm a business owner, right? And I'm always trying to find these deals. So the Augusta rule is one, but many CPAs, they've heard about it. They don't talk to their clients about it. Another thing that's really irritating me or concerning me is that most CPAs, they don't own any other type of investment or business outside of being their own boss as a CPA. That should be concerning to a lot of people. Most CPAs do not meet with their clients multiple times throughout the year. They take long vacations twice a year. As a matter of fact, I mean, seriously, it's a big deal, right? Type 1, if that's happened to you, you've seen it. Like, hey, I want to meet with my CPA. He never seems to call me and come up with good ideas. It's because most people don't know the difference between a tax planner or a CPA or even an enrolled agent. They just go and send their stuff off. I just heard of a story from my tax planner that he had a guy, a client, come to him that was making over $1.5 million a year in revenue and was still using TurboTax for his taxes. And he goes, hey, look, let me show you what TurboTax does. I'm going to put it through my version of TurboTax, but it's made for CPAs. We're still going to do your taxes and save you tons of money. But look at this. We took the exact same information that he put into TurboTax, and then he puts it into his software, and the software spit out a tax number that was $5,000 less than what TurboTax was doing. And he said, the only reason I'm showing you this is because this is my base software, right, that we start with for clients that make less money. And then you use TurboTax. TurboTax is built in a way to cover their butt, and the IRS makes more money. Most people don't know that. And he was just blown away. Well, the guy, my buddy, put him into my tax planner, put him into a massive tax plan. And that's what I just recently built. If you want to check out this tax plan, this tax program, the Business Tax Accelerator, it's on sale for 1 day. It's the launch. The link's down below to that. But it's important that people get this. All right. And if you are making, you have a side hustle and you want to take it to that next step, the easiest way to take your side hustle to the next step is to start doing some tax strategy. Like here's another one, R&D tax credits. Most people don't even know what those are, but those are accessible to anyone with a business under certain circumstances. You got to make sure everything's done right. But most CPAs don't tell you that. So the easiest way to increase your side hustle, your business, is to save money in taxes and then take that money that you save and deploy it into your business and put it into the best part of your business, the part that's the product that's selling the fastest, the easiest, things like that, and increase all of your overall business. And it's just sad to me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to make this short. If you want to take a look at it, links down below to the crazy webinar. I can guarantee you this. I was feeling a little goofy and hopped up on coffee, and it's probably one of the funniest webinars we've ever done. The least professional. But if you want some tax ideas from a Rockstar CPA, I'd go take a look at it. Free 5 nuggets. If you want to take a look at the Business Tax Accelerator program, we got well over 20 of those nuggets all stacked into there. And if you get in now, not only are you going to get access to all of the updated lessons, like we're still filming today, and that's all going to be complete in the next week. There's going to be 5 group coaching calls and an onboarding call too, over the next 2 months. It's going to be pretty intense, pretty exciting, and you're going to get to sit in a room with other entrepreneurs asking questions, being around all their questions, hearing from a CPA that charges stupid amounts per hour and only works with very wealthy clients, giving you advice and ideas. All right. I'm very excited about this program. It's going to change a lot of companies over the next 6 months to a year. And I'm going to be able to bring those stories to you at the end of this next year. So we're taking the channel to a whole different level, and we're going to take people's businesses in 2026 and make them incredibly successful. Thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.